Привет, Yulia. Как дела? Today is Friday, February the 10th, here in San Francisco, and it's about 3:53 in the afternoon. Again, I hope this video finds you getting better because I really am disturbed when I think about how you've been treated while you've been in prison. When I look at the way you've been treated, Yulia, I think about what's going on here in America. Today, my video message was really wanting to talk to you about where I want to be uh, when it's time for you to be released, which I hope is very soon. But I can tell you now, from what I understand, is that if you release within the first or the next month or two or three, or if you release soon, there's going to be some things that's going to be following you that we're going to have to continue to deal with. Why? Because at this stage in the game, capitalism and the way you have to just think about how you've been treated. You've been neglectfully treated as a prisoner. Okay? Anytime you can be unconscious, I don't care if it's for 30 seconds. But when you're in custody and you're unconscious and there's no response that says that, you know, you are in care, then it's very alarming. And what I mean by it being not only just very alarming, but this is the type of things that's going to follow you after a sudden release. And what I mean by that, because I'm sitting right here in America, in San Francisco, and I can hear everything that's going on. From San Francisco to Los Angeles, across to New York City, and down to Washington, D.C. What you can hear is that everyday Americans are doing all they can to figure out how to get into Ukrainian market. Well, what is the Ukrainian market? Because my thing is, the stuff that's coming behind you, the stuff that wouldn't allow the prison to be able to look after you properly, is the same things that are trying to creep into the Ukrainian market. And what we're dealing with that's trying to creep inside of you, Ukrainian market, is gay culture. And it's coming right out of America. And this is why I have a serious problem with a growing lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual community. So before I can really talk to you about, what I hope and aspire things to be, the way I hope things to be upon your release, I have to really spend time. And this is the time that I'm using to express this to you. To realize what is actually taking place and to complete the thought in terms of what's going on in America every day. Every day, Americans are figuring not only how to get in your market, but how to exploit humans, as you can see the way you've been treated. This is what we call the environment. And when I witnessed myself in San Francisco in an environment that says that I can only think about how to treat people inhumanely, there is great cause for concern. Now, when it comes to a person like me, the only answer, Yulia, I know to this is war, because I'm with God. You understand? And God has never sat back and said that his children and his people are going to be mistreated or be subjected. to inhumane behavior. And when I say inhumane behavior, I'm talking about gay culture trying to expand its inhumane ways of living. And by the way, here's the time where I put a mental note into all of this. Thank God that we do have the Eurasian Union that is slowly forming. Why is that? Because Eurasia, as I've said in my previous interviews and videos, is a land, is a continent that contains the very beginning of civilization. So when we look at civilization and we look at Eurasia and we look at America and those who want to venture out to some new world, and I am not going to even use the term venture out, those who was put out, okay? Because if you look back way in the Bible days, God had a way of putting people out, and today we can see it, okay? And unfortunately, there is a remnant that still remains of those who've been taken out of Eurasia that still remains in Jerusalem. Those are the children of Americans. And that's why you see the tension that we see in Jerusalem today. But see, nobody's want to talk about why we have problems in the world. Everybody want to toot the horn about we should be free like Americans. But if you notice, it's only gay culture that's saying it. Because everybody else has pride in their own country, has pride in their own history, has pride in their own culture. And as a matter of fact, the growing, I want to say, the growing attitude towards the U.S. is negative. From the banking systems to the protesters to the children to even the animals. Because you can go outside here in San Francisco today and you can hear the birds telling you this place is out of mind, out of their mind. These people are out of their mind. When you hear birds telling you this, birds, parrots talking to you out of their trees, you're in a serious issue. And all of this is God gets the glory on all of this. And I'm just sharing with you a little bit about what is going on here in San Francisco, here in the United States, as it relates to how you have been treated, and how it can also indicate what to expect upon your release, should it be sudden. I can promise you, gay business is going to trail you for the short term. Why? Because as we enter a world of sustainability, gay culture know it doesn't belong. As we enter further into bio age, gay culture know it doesn't have a body. Okay? So when I can no longer count on your physical body to do the things that we require for your physical body to be able to do in the world of bio, which is number one, reproduce, gay culture is unable. So the time is there in terms of what we're going to be dealing with for the near future. But what I will say is I'm very committed to being there and having my company ready upon your release, which Should it be immediate and should it be soon, which is what we all are really hoping for, at least we're going to move forward with our eyes wide open, knowing that the way you've been treated over the past few months, those people in those positions are still around. Okay? However, they don't have any power because that's the day-to-day things that we've been doing is taking their power away from them. Nobody no longer wants to hear Yanukovych's side of the story because he's already shown his side of the story. It's illegit. The whole trial. Okay? And he's sitting around thinking that the European Union is going to overlook it. So you have a freedom staring right at you. And until them doors open, that's where it's going to be. We're going to be staring right at you. And guess what? We're going to be busting things wide open so that what freedom is, what we're having, the problem we're seeing is that those who are afraid of freedom, of your freedom, because your freedom is going to be a symbol of life to those who are piling in the beds. And when I say piling in beds, I'm talking about living like rats in piles. Okay, now I'm going to turn this monitor over so that you can see a prime example. Now I want you to look at that. They ready to pile on each other. And that's sad to see two boys. That's not what's freedom, okay? Because what these two boys are sitting around being jolly about in each other's face is having sex with each other. So when you can find a future in that, you'll find where gay will have a place in this world. But because I can't have children, because women see this going on all over the world, then we're going to expect to see war. And it's showing up in the Ukraine. So that's just a little bit of insight so you know what is brewing in my heart. We have to be out there living a sustainable lifestyle if we're going to see prosperity in the bio age. These guys to my left and to my right, they know their day is near. Just like your day of freedom is near. So we have it all locked up. I love you. Yati Belly Blue. Paka.